Nothing could be more of the opposite than how this theme is handled in The Lord of the Rings. Frank Herbert's classic and very influential science fiction novel Dune, released in 1965, now has a very good adaptation for the big screen. Already, despite Dune Part 2 having just been released a week ago, already has some comparing it to another great cinematic adaptation, The Lord of the Rings Trilogy. This trilogy was the first film set that I watched, even before the Star Wars saga, and I believe it is ahead of Denis Villeneuve's adaptation of Dune for several reasons, but that is not the subject of this video. Today I'm going to talk to you about how these sets of films handle the idea of faith. How do the Lord of the Rings trilogy and Dune handle faith in their narratives? Now, for this video essay, I will be talking about the movies and not necessarily the books, but I will reference the books when I need to. The story of The Lord of the Rings is ultimately about good versus evil and how power is vital in this epic battle. Dune is ultimately about the dangers of charismatic leaders and religious fanaticism. From these summaries, the idea of faith, at least in a religious sense, is more front and center in Dune, but it plays a larger role in the Lord of the Rings trilogy than most movie watchers think. The Lord of the Rings trilogy treats the idea of faith as the belief in the good. Good and evil are both working through different people in different ways in this world. The chief among them is freedom, or free will, and the opposite, domination or control, as represented symbolically and literally by the ring of the Lord of the Rings himself, Sauron. The free peoples, represented primarily by the men of the West in the films, are faced with a hopeless situation. However, they keep on fighting. They, you could say, believe they can beat the seemingly unstoppable enemy. Even if they can't, they will still fight the good fight.
Cannot defeat the armies of Mordor,
but we will meet them in battle nonetheless.
In the end, the ring is destroyed, and the faith of the free peoples is rewarded. In Dune, faith is represented by religious beliefs and prophecies, in particular the prophecy of the Lisan al-Gaib, the savior from the outer world that will lead the Fremen, the oppressed people of the planet Arrakis, aka Dune, to a new paradise. However, we find out later that this prophecy is an invention by an organization called the Bene Gesserit to contribute to their plans of using the Fremen to shape the Galactic Imperium to their liking through war.
We gave them something to hope for.
That's not hope!
The Fremen's faith is therefore a farce, and a very dangerous farce, as it leads to the outbreak of a holy war in the name of the main character, Paul Atreides. Notice how both situations described are hopeless for our protagonists and have difficult resolutions. War happens in both, but Dune ends with a new, and probably worse, war beginning for all involved. This is due to the faith of the Fremen being an invented tool used against them to use them as weapons for an agenda. What's worse is that Paul Atreides knows that the prophecy about him is a lie, but he ultimately ends up using it to gain control. The lie is therefore a necessary lie for certain ends. Nothing could be more of the opposite than how this theme is handled in The Lord of the Rings. There is very little reference to any organized religious beliefs or practices in the films, and the book for that matter. This doesn't matter, since faith in these films transcends any rules or customs made by men. And no, Aragorn becoming king is not a prophecy, it is his birthright as the heir of Isildur. However, even in Aragorn's case, he must believe in the good to not only become king, but to resist the ring. Faith, it seems, is a legitimate part of the world of Middle-earth, and it wins as good triumphs over evil. This is, I believe, the greatest difference between the Lord of the Rings trilogy and Dune. Hello everyone, welcome back to Movies with Michael, and if you enjoyed this video essay, you can show it by leaving a like on this video, comment down below what you thought about this video essay, and whether you agree with me or disagree with me, and let's have a conversation about it down below in the comments section. And please remember to subscribe to this channel and click the notification icon to be notified about my latest videos, and remember that this channel, Movies with Michael, now has its own Instagram account, and you can go and connect with me over there by clicking the link in the description of this video. That's all for now, and I'll see you all next time.